Boxing geniuses have uncovered their picks for the Canelo Alvarez vs. Edgar Berlanga battle. Canelo is set to get back to the boxing ring, protecting his undisputed super middleweight titles against Berlanga on September. Music. 14th. This is our headliner. September 14th, Canelo Alvarez and Edgar Berlanga meets. The WBA, WBC, and WBO very middleweight world title. The session is set only 2 days in front of Mexican Freedom Day. An essential timing Canelo has frequently preferred all through his vocation. Canelo, with a record of 61, 22, and 30, 9 knockouts as of late, gotten a consistent choice triumph against him. Mia in May. This win denoted his 4th sequential win since getting back to the super middleweight division, following his ineffective bid for the WBA light heavyweight title against Dimitri Bivol. In May 2022, Berlanga, an undefeated rising star, flaunts a great 22-0 record, with 17 of those triumphs dropping by knockout. His most recent victory came in February when he got a 6th-round technical knockout against Padre MCC. Various fans had been anxious to observe Canelo take on the up-and-coming sensation David Benavidez, who as of late supported his record to 29-0 by conquering Alexander Gazek to get the WBC break light heavyweight title. While Canelo has been reluctant about this session because of Benz's monumental height and energetic energy, he has of late communicated an eagerness to think about the test in the event that the monetary proposition is convincing enough. We'll see the reason why not in the event that the cash is right. Why not? Alvarez said during an appearance on his Spin's most memorable take in May. Fans should stand by till Alvarez routes Berlanga to fantasize about seeing Benavidez again. Fat Joe has reliably remained by Edgar Berlanga, his kindred Puerto Rican, as he has ascended through the boxing positions. In addition, rap legend Jay-Z remained close by Berlanga at the Palladium Times Square on Monday during the Canelo Alvarez-Berlanga question and answer session in New York City. Joe then, at that point, had a words to tell the people who are underestimating Berlanga's capability to pull off what might be viewed as a significant bombshell. Joe began telling DAZN News, "I've been battling this sort of difficulty my entire life. I understand what he's going towards, so the disdain that doesn't simply fuel folks like us. We're basically the same. This man needed the battle. I don't think you'll comprehend that this person needed the battle. Just like goodness, you got to battle Alvarez. Actually, no, this person needs the battle." Joe accepts that Berlanga, in spite of his unbeaten record, has something other than a puncher's opportunity to shock the world by overcoming Alvarez and holding on to the title of unified super middleweight best on the planet. Joe attached about Berlanga, "He is explosive in his gloves, never rests on the fighter. I have never seen a battle that Edgar Berlanga has battled where he doesn't hit somebody someplace where they're similar to hold up. They awaken. It resembles when you stroll outside, and that cool hits you." This is a story of two Davids set against the scenery of a moving scene in the 168, 175 pounds divisions. Following quite a while of testing Canelo Alvarez, David Benavidez has changed gears, currently venturing into the light heavyweight ring. In the meantime, the spotlight goes to Ozzy David Morel Gutierrez Jr., also called David Morel. The Cuban-conceived pugilist made his introduction in the 175-pound division, confronting Ravo Kick for the empty WBA title at the Terence Crawford-Israel Madoff main event. Similar as his namesake, Morel has long sought after a session with Canelo Alvarez, with their predeterminations apparently connected regardless of their endeavors. Neither has gotten the sought-after battle. David Morel even contacted David Benavidez, yet his endeavors were vain now, with Alvarez selecting a title safeguard against Edgar Berlanga. Morel, the St. Nick Clara conceived southpaw, views his WBA compulsory status as a ridiculous thought during battle week. The timetable started off with the excellent appearances, the underlying pre-occasion display on Tuesday. In a discussion with a group of writers, David Morel appeared to be apparently exasperated by the relentless requests about the forthcoming September 14th session, highlighting Canelo Alvarez. Edgar Berlanga, "Man, this battles everyone realizes. I need no more inquiries concerning this battle. It's insane," he said. The Cuban-American fighter embraces the truth that at last everything revolves around business in any case. He calls attention to that Canelo Alvarez has evaded conflicts with 2 Cubans himself, and possibly Yul Hernandez, in the 168B division. Besides, it's become broadly perceived that Alvarez has disregarded David Benz's difficulties, recommending the way in which Canelo Alvarez has been pursuing less testing rivals. David Morel felt Berlanga is simple for him, alluding to last year's Gerald Charlo battle where the Iron Man moved 2 divisions up to meet Alvarez at the super middleweight. He expressed, Everyone's here. I'm not talking. Everything's hanging around for me. This battle's few correspondents asked about how he would rate the danger Berlanga could posture to Alvarez on a scale from 1 to 10 when the discussion moved to surveying Berlanga expected risk. In a session against David Benavidez, Morel with a smile gave a fun-loving score of 16, at this point setting humor to the side. He recognized the Mexican beast as an extraordinary warrior. In only brief time, David Morel has secured himself as an impressive power in the super middleweight division, long eclipsed by Canelo Alvarez, denoting his most memorable commemoration in the game. The Southpaw guaranteed the interval title quite soon. He had rose to the job of customary hero. From that point forward, he has wildly shielded his title with his sixth guard against Senna Agco, happening last December. In the meantime, Canelo Alvarez and his new challenger locked eyes interestingly at their title protection question and answer session in New York. The experience among Alvarez and Edgar Berlanga was set apart by a steely showdown. Anyway, the session has mixed some discontent among fans who are wanting to see Alvarez face greater names like David Benavidez or David Morel. Rather, the battle against Berlanga has left many contemplating whether the fervor factor is missing. Eddie Hearn, who holds a multi-battle contract with a divinely selected individual, as of late had a face-to-face with the dominant super middleweight champion. Starting reports recommend the experience started with some strain as Canelo Alvarez looked for explanations from Hearn. Fortunately, the gathering finished on a more neighborly note, with the two players dividing a cordial trade. The cooperation among Alvarez and Hearn has caught extensive consideration, especially as Alvarez plans for his forthcoming battle. This match follows his past protection of the undisputed title against Monja. As he prepares for the September 14th session, Alvarez has been deprived of his IBF title, decreasing his status to that of a bound-together top dog. Michael Benson's tweet proposed that Eddie Hearn and Canelo Alvarez were discussing last week's Terence Crawford versus Israel Madoff conflict. Canelo Alvarez and Eddie Hearn examining the advancement of Terence Crawford versus Israel Madoff. Today it read, as the short clasp shows both the hero and the advertiser were standing. Maybe the gathering was approaching its end. Taking a gander at the British bloke, Canelo Alvarez said, "You've been talking regarding me all week." Maybe the fraud surprised the Matchroom supervisor. As one of Matchroom boxing champion contenders, Israel Madoff's conspicuousness appeared to provoke Canelo Alvarez to think that Eddie Hearn was utilizing his own star ability to support revenue in the forthcoming session with Bud Crawford. Hearn anyway rushed to explain that the occasion required critical special endeavors and who preferred to highlight over Alvarez himself. The clarification reverberated with Canelo, who answered with a knowing grin and a gesture of understanding toward Hearn. Maybe he had proactively guessed this system. "I feel that is precisely on," he commented as Eddie Hearn ventured back. He looked over to ensure his family was okay. Alvarez consoled him that everything was well at home. "Catch you in a digit," Hearn said prior to heading out. Normally, the collaboration ignited a surge of reactions from fans, a large number of whom had a lot to say regarding the two players. Canelo Alvarez and Eddie Hearn were accomplices until the earlier year, when Alvarez marked a rewarding three-battle, $100 million concurrence with Al Heyman. The session against Del Charlo denoted the start of this new pursuit. Anyway, the coordinated effort with PBC was fleeting, prompting shared choice to end their organization. As per the most recent updates, the September 14th occasion, including the middleweight title conflict between Iris Lara and Danny Garcia, alongside Caleb Plant's Reborn session, will be mutually advanced by Canelo Advancements and TGB Advancements. Eddie Hearn's Matchroom Boxing will likewise loan its help to the occasion. During the public interview, Berlanga was sure David Benz's name would come up, and Berlanga didn't keep down when the subject was raised. Berlanga communicated that he would have rather not caught wind of Benavidez, utilizing express language to stress his contempt. He commented that many individuals continue to raise Benavidez and others in spite of realizing that a battle with them wouldn't occur. Berlanga closed by confirming that on September 14th it would be Berlanga versus Canelo, addressing Puerto Rico against Mexico. Berlanga had more to say after the news gathering for the individuals who think Bennett should have tested Alvarez, as opposed to him. He said those are critics, man, and that multitude of individuals out there, they will in any case purchase the compensation per view they're going to win. Any case going to talk Floyd became Floyd. Why, since he had such countless individuals despising him right or wrong, Berlanga proceeded with Floyd became Floyd due to the disdain on the off chance that Floyd never had the disdain Floyd could never be who he was. You really want that, and I'm utilized to that disdain. I go via virtual entertainment and see things, and that powers me in light of the fact that the best triumph is the point at which it's won, and you could quiet everyone. Of the skeptics down, that is the best inclination. Edgar Berlanga Sr., Berenga's dad and coach, agrees and dismisses Benz's character. He said, I couldn't care less about that. We got the battle, and we're rolling to beat Canelo. Eddie Hearn was on the contrary side of boxing space on Monday, subsequent to having advanced Canelo Alvarez in a few sessions. The Matchroom Boxing advertiser is advocating Edgar Berlanga, despite the fact that group of boxing fans and examiners is encouraging Alvarez to confront David Benavidez. Hearn is planning to offer Berlanga a serious chance 1 month from now. He told the media, I think Edgar is being neglected and disregarded. He's here just to win. He had 16 first-round knockouts and quite a well first 16 battles. He has explosive and quite a well hands, and he'll risk everything. September 14. In the meantime, Edgar Berlanga is obliterating any analysis. He's moving past his possibilities of overcoming Canelo Alvarez. That incorporates analysis he's gotten from Caleb Plant, who as of late told Co-Craftsman Sports that Berlanga must have the option to utilize boxing abilities he doesn't have, a jaw that he doesn't have, and the experience that he doesn't need to overcome Alvarez. Berlanga tended to those remarks straightforwardly, while as of late showing up on the Morning Meal Club. Berlanga said of Plant, he's a skeptic, period. I feel like presently he's clout pursuing. He's doing a ton of peculiar things just to be significant. Again, many individuals realize man don't sell. He doesn't sell, except if he's battling a major contender. He further added, so I'm similar to your critic brother, since when it was your chance to make history, when it was your chance to step into that ring with Canelo and this large number of folks, I never slammed you. I didn't never express anything about you. I let you have your second, yet you ain't accept your open door. You lost, you got taken out. Berlanga is suggesting the last explicitly to PL stoppage in the 11th round in their November 2021 matchup with Alvarez, trying to oust the undisputed super middleweight ruler and shock everybody in the process. The unbeaten Berlanga plans to accomplish various results. Pundits contend that Canelo's decision of rival appears to be key, with numerous specialists and fans thinking he's keeping away from a session with David Benavidez. Canelo had a program of challengers arranged for his super middleweight titles, including Edgar Berlanga, David Benavidez, and William Skull. The choice to prohibit Skull drove the Global Boxing League to strip Canelo of his title belt. Berlanga is set to get his first break at a big showdown in quite a while, yet some uncertainty whether he can take on Saul Alvarez. The last warrior to confront Canelo was Caleb Plant, who combat him in 2021 and has some understanding into what the divinely selected individual will experience in the ring. Bearers numbers ought to be sufficient to assume the best about him, being undefeated in his 22 battles with 17 knockouts anyway. For Plant, he has no contentions and annihilated him with a dull remark. To summarize, Caleb questions the anointed one's status to take on Canelo, referring to an absence of involvement and worries about his versatility against punches. He accepts these variables could prompt a knockout. This view lines up with a comparable assessment he partook in a past meeting. He misses the mark on abilities. I think he misses the mark on jaw. He comes up short on ability to box and the level of intelligence, Plant said about Edgar Berlanga boxing, whom he wouldn't preclude as a potential rival later on before their September 14th match. Berlanga couldn't resist the opportunity to murmur an advance notice in Alvarez's ear. At the finish of the gathering, Berlanga began telling a pool of journalists, we're attempting to turn into a legend. I got to beat that man opposite me. He let me know it will be something else, yet I let him know it will be something else. The 27-year-old Berlanga began his profession with 16 first-round knockouts, which assisted him with ascending in the enclosing positions. Late times, 5 out of his last 6 successes have been gotten by consistent choice. Obligatory challenger spot for Alvarez is brought together super middleweight world title Eddie Hearn. The Matchroom Boxing advertiser, known for his past work with Alvarez and his flow backing of Berlanga, has unhesitatingly pronounced that the Brooklyn Warrior will draw in head-on with the boss trading explodes closet. I realize Canelo needs genuine battles and folks who will come at him to win. Edgar will come for a firefight here and vowed to the media. Berlanga added, it's will versus will, it's who can break whose will, it's lion versus lion. And you know, I'm Puerto Rican, I'm youthful, I'm solid, and there will be firecrackers on September 14th. I'm not running, we're not going anyplace, we will remain not too far off, and we will do what we do. The possibility of a firefight was exactly what Alvarez wanted to hear. I love it, the boxing symbol said with a smile. He added, I truly love it. I expect nothing else. I know he will come to get all that, me too. That is the battle. I truly like it. I love it. And I will appreciate it a ton from legends like Floyd Mayweather Jr., Shane Mosley, and Jens Golovkin to the rising star Edgar Berlanga. This is the way fans frequently view Canelo Alvarez as boxing odyssey currently deprived of the IBF title. Alvarez will guard his excess 3 belts as a bound-together boss, yet there's a developing discussion among fans. Many accept a out with David Benavidez could have been a more fitting test than confronting the divinely selected individual. Similarly, as the residue was settling from the declaration of the New York, the opening shot, public interview, an electrifying report dropped that shook the boxing scene. It seems the supreme super middleweight champion is looking at a third session during the current year, possibly scheduled for December. The contort, rather than the natural scenes in Las Vegas or his local Mexico. This battle could unfurl in Japan, frequently called the place where there is the rising sun. Obviously, this news left many fans staggered, particularly the people who were simply grappling with the Berlanga battle. The unforeseen curve started a whirlwind of responses, for certain fans taking to virtual entertainment to offer their quick and frequently energetic viewpoints. Michael Benson shared through Twitter, referring to writer Salvador Rodriguez, that as per Canelo Alvarez's veteran coach Eddie Reynoso, plans are in progress to possibly set up a battle for the Mexican confining star Japan. Before the year's over, this is dependent upon Canelo getting triumph in his 66th vocation session against Edgar Berlanga following Jamal Charlo. There was far and wide expectation that a standoff between Canelo Alvarez and David Benavidez would emerge. Yet, Alvarez started off the year with a session against Haim Monja. As conversations for his September battle started, many trusted that the Mexican beast could at last be able anyway. Ben Aides, who was Alvarez's required challenger for the WBC title,